Hi guys, what's up? It's Ronnie. Welcome back to my channel. This is my first sit down video in a very long time. I've only been doing vlogs for a while, so it feels nice to sit down and just talk to the camera. So let's go ahead and jump right into this co-op experience video, as you can tell by the title. Just as a disclaimer before I get into the video, I do not work for co-op. I am just speaking to you as someone who just finished the program. I will also leave timestamps in the description box below so that you can easily click through this video if you don't want to watch the whole thing, but please watch the whole thing. I will also leave co-op's website in the description box so you can get all the specifics. So if you are unfamiliar with co-op, it is pronounced co-op, not COOP. I literally was saying COOP for the longest time. Co-op is a nonprofit that helps recent grads overcome underemployment or unemployment, and they do this through their 17-week apprenticeships. There are 3 tracks you can choose from. There is the digital marketing track, the data analytics track, and the tech sales track. And pre-COVID, all of these classes for this apprenticeship were in person, but since we are in COVID times, they have gone virtual over to Zoom. And co-op is located in New York, LA, and San Francisco. And recently this cycle, they're coming to San Jose, California, and Chicago. So in a nutshell, that is what co-op is, and I'm gonna be speaking more for the digital marketing track because that's the track that I did. So to give you a bit of context as to where I was in my career journey prior to co-op, let's rewind back to August of 2020, and that is when I started my internship at Onsalting. If you guys watch my vlogs, you guys know that I used to work at Onsalting, and I did that internship through my last semester of college. So I did that internship, and it was about November. At that point, I decided I was gonna do like another semester length working at Onsalting and then hopefully find something else. And I was considering also doing co-op since co-op is in the evening. Honestly, coming out of college, obviously like I had my degree, I knew a lot about marketing, as much as I could know after having gotten my college degree, but to be quite honest, I didn't feel ready to dive into a career of digital marketing, specifically social media. I knew like the surface level, but I felt like I needed to know more. The biggest factor for me in deciding whether or not I wanted to do co-op was, will I have actual practice? Like not just teaching me surface level stuff, like I want to practice this. And my friends who had already done the program were like, you do get practice, you get worksheets, there's lectures, and you will be going into some of the UIs of the things that you use in digital marketing. When I decided to do co-op, I kind of just like took a leap of faith and trusted my friend's word, and was just kind of hoping for the best. So that's how I ended up deciding that I wanted to do co-op. The application process was super easy. The application was online, and that was, I have the actual dates so I could give you like the accurate timeline. I applied on November 16th of 2020, and I heard back from a recruiter on November 25th of 2020, so about a week and some change later. And then I had my interview on December 22nd, and I was offered a seat on July 29th. The timeline of me applying and then getting into co-op, the whole thing took about roughly 2 months, which sounds like a lot, but they did schedule my interview before December 2020, and I had asked them to push it out because I had finals that same week, and I was like, there's no way I can like do an interview for this and study for like 3 finals at the same time. And they were really accommodating, which is something I really appreciated. The group interview really isn't as intimidating as it sounds. You are, as the name would suggest, in a group. I think there was 4 of us interviewees and 2 interviewers, and the interview really was, I mean, of course I was nervous, but I had to remind myself like, hey, me and these other students or soon-to-be grads are here for the same reason. You know, we're here because we need help starting our careers, we need help learning these technical skills, we need help just gaining the confidence that is necessary to do a job search. And co-op did give me guidelines for a presentation to do about myself, and then there was a question that was related to digital marketing that I had to kind of answer some questions for and just kind of show them like how my brain worked. Everyone was super nice. All my interviewees who were there with me were really nice. The interviewers were really nice. The main point of this interview was just for them to get to know you. So don't get too nervous. You guys are gonna be fine. It really wasn't that bad. Now we can get into the meat of this video, which is my experience with co-op. So I'm gonna break this section into 3 parts. I'm gonna talk about the cohort, the skills, and the community. The cohort. So once you've been accepted into co-op, they will send you a personality test, and this is how they place you in your cohort. As I mentioned earlier, there are 3 tracks. There's digital marketing, data analytics, and tech. And within your track, there are cohorts. So for example, for me, I was in the digital marketing track in San Francisco, and in my track there were 3 cohorts, 136, 137, and 138. I was 138, shout out to 138, all my pals. I know they're gonna be watching this because I'm literally gonna send them the link to this video when I upload it. We were the best cohort, not gonna lie. Each cohort gets 4 captains, and the captains are people who have already done the apprenticeship themselves and are coming back to pay it forward. And that is how co-op keeps the program free, is after you do the apprenticeship, they ask you to come back and teach the next cycle. And this kind of goes into the community part, but I'm gonna talk about it here anyways. But your cohort really does become your support system, your family, your shoulder to lean on. You get so close to your cohort because you are with them for 4 nights out of the week for 17 weeks straight. It's just inevitable. You just get close. And my cohort, from my experience, we genuinely became friends, and we just meshed so well together. And I know that if I were to text any of them, they would totally help me out, and vice versa. I would always help any of them out. And I think that's one of the things about co-op that really took me back, was like I wasn't expecting to become so close with my cohort. You're going through this together. You guys are like relating. You're on the same page. It just feels nice to go through this process of what we call starting your career and being a fresh grad. And doing that with people, because it makes you feel less alone. My cohort experience was just chef's kisses. The skills in co-op are broken up into 3 pillars: the head, heart, and hustle. So the head part of the skills is where you learn all your technical skills. So this is where you're going to be learning about SEO, SEM, paid social, Google Analytics, Google Ads, Excel. There are lectures on these topics and worksheets, and usually you can get the worksheets done in class. There were a couple times where I did them out of class, but they only took like an hour, hour and a half. But they're not hard, just some of them are a little time consuming, but they're not hard worksheets. That's what I really liked about the technical skills, was just that it was more than just like a surface level marketing. It was like that, but then you like went in to these different topics. And I know some people are gonna be like, well, you could have just done the free Google whatever. And it's like, yeah, I could have done that, but I knew for me, I wanted a program, like I wanted an actual classroom setting, because 1, it would take me probably longer to learn it all by myself, and 2, I needed like that layer of accountability to learn these things and like be motivated to do these things, because I had to turn my worksheets in to get certified. Also in co-op, you do some of those free certifications, also some that you don't have to pay for but usually are paid for, but with the program you get them with co-op. You do get other certifications throughout the program that are required in the curriculum. So for example, like Google Analytics, Apple Ads, Microsoft Ads. So there's other certifications that you will do within the curriculum along with the worksheets. The heart sessions are where you get deep. The heart sessions are where you do a lot of self-reflecting and learn about things like workplace bias, growth mindset, imposter syndrome. And co-op has a social worker team, and each cohort gets a social worker, and that person comes in and leads these heart sessions. These heart sessions are really what help build that community foundation with your cohort, because you're sharing things and you're getting vulnerable. You cry. We cried during these sessions. So I love the heart sessions because they focus on the mental part of job search, because as much as you're physically like sending out applications and things like that, like so much of the work has to come from up here as well. So yeah, that is the heart pillar. And the last pillar is hustle, and this is pretty self-explanatory, but this is where you're going to be working on your resume, cover letter, networking, LinkedIn, building out your LinkedIn profile, your elevator pitch. So like all the stuff that you need to do your job search, you're going to be working on during the hustle sessions. That's pretty self-explanatory. I feel like I don't need to explain too much about what the hustle section is, but the last thing I will say about hustle section is that there is a talent match at the end of the cycle, and that is where you get to network with recruiters and leverage all of the documents that you've been working on the whole cycle. So I'm not going to say too much about the talent match, but just know there is a talent match. And also my foot is falling asleep. And the last section that I want to talk about is the community aspect of co-op. So as I said, the community is what makes co-op what it is. Like everything else aside, the amount that this organization cares about you is unmatched. From the captains to the program managers to all of your pals at HQ, which you will meet a lot of people from headquarters because they actually come into the classes sometimes and talk to you and just see how you're doing. They genuinely want to see you succeed. They genuinely want to help you get a job. And it's so beautiful, it's so refreshing, and people get emotional talking about co-op because just the amount of love and support from this community is unlike any I've ever experienced. The community aspect is just, it's amazing. I can't say enough good things about the community. Totally turned off the camera and forgot to say this, but I did get a job out of co-op. So I am employed right now. I am a social media intern. Shout out to co-op, shout out to Consulting. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the video in the algorithm, and I want other future co-opers or already admitted co-opers to be able to see this video and have some sort of reference of someone's experience. And like I said, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will respond to you. I will see you guys in the next video.
I guess I never